Park Z confidently said, "Stop talking and prepare to fight." 6 adventurers clenched their hands, growling with anger. IP2 silently thought in his heart, "The body is the owner's daughter." I also absolutely did not back down. Stop the child behind. Looking towards aesthetic photography in the dungeon world. I've been through a time of birth and death. Let's say we actually lose 7. Let me and Harry die together. The photographer watched closely. They're about to enter the first line. The animals gradually plunge straight into the trap that the photographer has arranged. Under the feet, they're the fire potions that are all over the place. And then there's the rumbling noise. It's rocking the whole sky. That makes most of the week. Right back with the coffin team. And as they were approaching, there was an explosion. Make the animals of the tide fly from the sky. What did the soldiers ask for? At this moment, the photographer is looking at. He said that snow lovers are afraid of fire. But normal fire will be extinguished by the cold air on them. I poured a lot of red oil. There's also materials like phosphate. When encountering the fur or skin of the snow maple, love will automatically burn. The first ones were burned. The last ones came. The animals are surrounded by flames. It's screaming like crazy. The first ones saw that. They quickly turn around and hit the car. The worms are coming. VA touch makes them scream quickly. His body burned into a mountain. This is the first line. You see that? I felt like I killed 1,000 in one moment. This boy is also smart. It helps us save a lot of energy. The Buddha smiled with satisfaction. And the pink body is slapped in the face and twisted to speak. Unexpected thought. The action of the beast for a moment. It's been stopped. I can't believe this trick still exists. The soldiers here are laughing. He's so good. That's great. But suddenly, someone said, "Wait. Take a look." The tides split, and they went around the fire. Worried about saying no. The east and west wall will be attacked. The forces there are weak. But suddenly rockets from the sky appeared. Down the arrows. Straight down the oil trenches that were dug before. Quickly, a flaming fire barrier is set up. The fire enveloped the beast. They can make them run out. That's why the animals are blocked. Make them scream helplessly. Those who risk their lives are burned. That causes the animals in the herd to hastily divert. They're coming back south. IP tone exclamation. It seems the photographer has calculated the way of the snow. By instinct, they'll just avoid the fire trap and rush forward. This boy also studied the snowy wind after. The animals have run through here. But this place has already been calculated. That's digging little holes in front of us. He laughed softly and told me he was coming. The second line begins. When the Lao animals came here, then suddenly, a mine is lit. That's what caused the explosion to burn down the animals. In the blink of an eye, there's a lot of banging going on. It also makes the soul. In front of the castle now like a firecracker show. It makes people gasp for breath. The animals are screaming in the fire. The explosions keep coming. It's a big one, and Kim is crazy and wants to run away. As if immediately consumed by that powerful fire. IP tone exclamation. I can't believe I burned 2 snowbees. Love Black Kim. How did that kid end up doing? The appellant thought what kind of cannon it was. If you don't take precautions, you hit the target. Maybe even the gods will die. Photographer Bao. Association for training monks to coordinate the black stone forest. Also more than 20 kinds of herbal jelly minerals. Into liquid explosives. But this explosive is unstable. If you encounter a fire, it will explode. Pale laughing retreat. Kill 1,000 of them first. It can reduce the number of people. You have to sacrifice for the city. Just like that, it can only be temporary. They just stop their journey. Outside the city now, the explosions keep coming out. Calculate and speak up. It's time to use the third line. So he goes up to everyone and tells them to move. Now the animals are left, flying over the tiger. Then suddenly, the bamboo trees hurl down the road. Its path makes them look like a glimmer. That's what makes these animals so upset. These structures. Suddenly, the white smoke came out. The ones nearby are inhaled. That suddenly went crazy. Because it contains a powerful poison. It can make snow crazy. Just breathe in. They will attack our enemies regardless. Unfortunately, in the rush, the Monastic Training Association found only a few materials. We can only build more than 5,000 trees. Travel with friends. They're constantly hurling the bamboo down. Each tree can kill 10. And the others are attacking each other. The soldiers in the city were surprised. Happy to say, the army had not yet attacked the wall. 100,000 children have died. The other guy said those structures are really bad. We'd also like to try to attack them with architecture. It used to be 10 people. We can kill a beloved snow maple. Not expect you just need a tree to handle them. They asked who thought of this. It's about opening people's eyes. The owner said I was. I've been fighting with love for years. But never heard of. You can destroy love in these ways. The key is the keyer drugs. Tran Phi Long also commented, people think of these ways. He is the god of our city. If not for why, we don't know how many soldiers we have to sacrifice. And others agree, that's right. If the argument of merit. He is the one who has the greatest merit. The judge sent back the thought, only 110 is far from over. I still have to thank the photographer for this. I was surprised to hear about him. The bald head asked in surprise, is that photographer genius SAO? I can't believe this guy has an extraordinary talent. But there's a lot of mischievous ideas. Rebuke the hero. This is not a bad idea. It's incredibly smart. I admire the most intelligent people. Immediately after finishing with a light smile. These years, the city is always in a state of crisis. They can be attacked by wild animals at any time. If you can save the city, getting married is not a bad idea either. To take over the title of Kwangwi City is only. At this point, he sighed and looked at Han Yi in the distance. Esthetician Hope Han Yi can glimpse Ra a little. Although Han Yi is not bad endowment, but compared to photography, my son is a lot worse. Which compares the contribution of Lao to Kwangwi City. The power of photography is too great. Even if you want to paint, there is no chance. IP Han thought silently. I finally understand. Why do parents increasingly attach importance to photography? Then I heard. The city government's strategy is also arranged by the regent. How can I compare with him? He remembered what he had said before. Cannot become an owner. You are nothing. He opened his eyes and said it was because you forced me. Here, 6 people use force to throw down Than truck. There is nothing terrible about this beast. The snowy face just cried. Dad called Mom. It as a reminder not to be too early. This is the 100,000 level tidal beast. It killed more than 100,000 of them. I think the enemy has crossed the 3 lines. Next, do you have any last cards left? The soldiers shouted anxiously. The beast is about to storm the wall. The animals have now jumped to the wall. Everyone rushed to pour red oil. So the animals are sprinkled with oil. Ignition signal transmitted too. Immediately one threw down the torch. Quickly LAN flame transmitted raw, covered the castle. The beasts of the tide screamed furiously, burned in the fire. One person complained, "I didn't expect to burn the entire city." The other guy said, "Stop looking and get ready." After they charged through the sea of fire, it's combat. The animals below the walls, burned by the fire, without stopping screaming. Among them, the others jumped up on the wall. One of them shouted that the animal was coming. Is the golden beast. We're here to support the guard. Meanwhile, the high-ranking emperors of the world, already standing ready. Suddenly, a big animal rushed up the river, straight to the soldiers. A terrified young man. I screamed for an hour, and immediately a knock came down. They make young people eat green banana. A master rushed up. He said there were casualties. He immediately brandished his sword to attack the beast. The battle between humans and animals begins. The governor ordered here. People keep pouring kerosene. Don't let too many lovers storm the city. People listen to me, that keep pouring barrels of oil down. Hurry up for the fire. And so, the fire kept coming. The photographer thought the usual snow breeze. They were basically burned to death. As long as the city is on fire, there will be only a few of those who love gold. They can storm the city, and they can't withstand high temperatures. Power will drop a lot. Do not use too much pressure to use all the oil. There's still blood and bullets. But I can only hold a few hours. Then, I'm afraid I have to rely on the owners to fight. The hero now gives orders. Take all the rich roses in the family. He announced with a loud mouth, Lao Tzu will burn these animals to death today. The people below are in a hurry. Run back to get the oil. To respond to his anxious pondering, he killed 2 black cats. Kim, but there are 10 more. Black Kim lovers are the most dangerous. Big animals right now. It's leading the pack of tigers. A few hours passed. The battle continues extremely fiercely. Lovers jumping on the wall into a winter's day. The soldiers risked their lives. Careful reminder, photographer. Martial Arts Association helps to become a guard. For training monks. Use fire cover to bring the injured down. The death toll is over 1,000. Suddenly, the spirit of the photographer now lit up. It reabsorbs the gases. Made him suddenly stand still. The spirits are pouring into perpetual photography. This spirit is from the beloved snow maple. It's burning in the flames. When they are destroyed, these spirits flew straight in. High soul of the photographer, absorbed by him endlessly. There are more and more souls every time. Make the photographer stand still. The source of the energy is intense. The soldiers over here yelled again. There's a gold rush. The sword turned its head. Look at the animals coming. That fly people up to fight 6 adventure utterance. The sword is back up. I'm so excited, we're up too. They rushed to attack. Stop the crazy beasts. Meanwhile, the photographer is standing still. Let's go to the 5 immediately. Raise your hand to catch him. Stop the child standing nearby, panicked, screaming for photographer. Why are you standing still like that? But look at the face of the current photographer. There was no reaction. Make her realize that something's wrong. Hurry and come. Keep the dog out of the hands of the animals. 2 people fell to the ground. The 2 animals saw that and continued to bring their hands. Then suddenly, a stream of air came from behind. Death Van ordained. Love Spirit Ice Snow Queen stopped. Turned into a wall of ice to protect the 2 of them. Quickly, a layer of ice that's compartmentalized. Make 2 crazy animals scream. They crashed into the ice wall. They still can't get through. It just cracked the ice wall. They rushed to restore the ice wall. To the point of gushing blood. Nie Li uses her body to support the photographer. She's got it. The photographer is injured. Why not push him out? Turn to Death and worry. Death proposed to stop. You sent the photographer ahead of me to deal with them. Meanwhile, lovers are frantically punching the ice wall. It makes Death struggle. The fish looked carefully. In my mind, my husband and I were best friends when we were kids. But I don't know. She is the owner's daughter. She was forced to marry the judge. Until I met the photographer. I have just overcome my wounds. But the effort to cultivate. We can finally get out of this shackle. To pursue one's own destiny. But the photographer likes IP too, and so on. But today, it's Death that saved us. The wind is now trying to generate gas to stop it. The fists that came out. The photographer opened his eyes. Face to face with Stop. She said happily that you are awake. What's going on? Get up quickly. Death is still fighting the animals. It's very dangerous. They are afraid of getting hurt. I don't dare to use force. Thinking of the soul. My sea is seriously damaged. I was in a coma. It feels like there are so many souls going through the sea. What is this? But I didn't realize it at all. It's dangerous. The body has no strength. We need to stop moving the soul quickly. Stop hurrying him up. In the back are 2 animals. Is aggressively punching the wall of ice so furiously. But suddenly, the photographer was in pain. I can't go. Stop the child, full of worry. He crouched down. Thought High's soul was forcibly inflated. It's cracked. The fisherman called the photographer in a panic. But he tried to make sure he didn't. But we have to train our soul for a while. There may be no fighting power. Stop thinking so I can watch over you. Though the masters of the world stood on the wall. Killed a lot of animals. But white, silver, gold level. More and more people are attacking the wall. Everyone is in a state of misery. The sword is flying high. The number of attacks is increasing. And he and everyone else are fighting. Stop these animals. Death, speak up here. Dealing with 2 favorite birds at the same time. It's a little hard. The dead quickly flew past the 2 animals. 2 get close to them. Use the bandages to fight. The sharp thorns appear. She controls these ice spikes. Attack to 2 black Kim lovers. The child looked anxiously. Death is also dangerous. We have to go help her. Not in time to leave. Over here. Suddenly, a giant animal with a big head rushed in. It stops children from being scared. I looked up and realized it was snow. She immediately launched down the lightning. Go straight to it. But this trick doesn't hurt it. Just shake your head a few times and you're back to normal. The snow leopard stuck out its tongue and looked at it. He opened his mouth and screamed for an hour. It makes her want to fly. Stop being surprised. The power of ice and snow is so great. My whole body is frozen. She closed her eyes and made a decision. It's a powerful source of electricity. Let me attack this monster. This trick works. These electric torpedoes, he made some holes in her. It makes the blood red. Its large body fell on the wall and broke the stone. Stop the children nearby also fall out somewhere else. Suddenly, this iguana reached out. Use your sharp claws and run straight to the edge. When his hand nearly caught him. Then immediately a lightning source fires raw to stop it. This trick comes from stopping the child. She declared, I won't let you touch the photographer. This electric lightning is like a chain, binding the arm of the beast. Make it send up anger. But the power of stop. It's hard to tie this thing down. The chain seems to be about to break. She's worried about calling out the regent's name. Right now, he suddenly woke up with his eyes full of energy. I love animals that get fired at. That pierced through the head. Blood splattered. The photographer brought back the dagger and the animal. It's slowly falling down, causing a massive explosion. Immediately potentiate the formation of tiger's pandas. The little fish looked at him with a light smile. But he just kept going. At this moment, she is still breathing with her two children. These animals immediately jump up. It makes the dying confused and worried. When they come again, the two animals rushed forward with a ferocious scream. It was suddenly thrown out the back. It turns out that the photographer suddenly appeared. Save the beauty with atmospheric gravity. He opened his mouth wide. Then quickly make two colored flying animals explode. Then the photographer hurried over. Stop holding her in your arms. Stop talking. The child is seriously injured. I used my soul power to treat her first. He unleashed his soul force to cover her up. In the sunset's rays, death over here looks. The lovers are so beautiful. Your dog can do it for you despite everything. She likes you like that. What about me? Between me and the photographer, there is no such feeling. What right do I have to rob you of your child? I am the daughter of the owner. From the moment of birth, he had to carry the fate of the city. Maybe God intended me to be alone. You must use your life to protect the city. Then SAO can love a person intensely living. I can stop being a friend. It's been a lifetime of happiness. The sword glides sideways. I was surprised to think I was crying. Suddenly, a monster appeared, coming from behind the sword. Immediately rushed to attack. Stop, children, she secretly told photographer. You have to treat that child well. On the side of stopping, by this time she had woken up to see the photographer. She asked the photographer why. Remind yourself not to talk. My soul's power is consuming too much. Can't fight anymore. Then I asked the Lord to take me back to the city. Absorbing such a large amount of soul force of the beast, I was the golden star. Enough to deal with these animals. Stop listening. I'm happy to say that's good. Stop watching and thinking. Stop worrying about yourself like that. But what can I give her? Turn to look at the dead. The debt of a past life has not been paid. This life owes more. He bowed his head and said, "Give me a break." "Thank you very much. Thank you very much." The cold shoulder stopped and said, "If anything happens, tell me later." I brought the baby back. It made photography a little difficult to understand. Look as she thinks, Sao. It looks a little unusual. It's good not to get hurt. He took out the chain and calmed down. Now the enemy is attacking the wall. Now is not the time to think. He returned to his original form and flew away. Then use the chain of inflammation. I have 2 snowy animals in front of me. Just a few basic cuts. The blood from the bodies of these 2 animals immediately splashed. And then I ate the garlic. Snow wind. The army continued to attack 1 more day and 1 more night. From the time it gets dark until the time it gets light, then it's time for the night to fall. The guards take turns. Each group of animals was destroyed by a third. The soldiers also fought. To the end, swing out the fatal slash. Suddenly, there was a loud cry outside. As a signal. Make the animals rush back to their ass. One looked down and saw that. They're retreating. Because of the roar. Saoip Tung said that Black Kim favorite. I've been wondering before about the animals. They don't stop attacking. The dive doesn't retreat. This is the Sao. They all stop a few miles away. Leaf Cardboard says, "Is there a normal hobby here?" We all heard the commander of Black Kim. That's interesting. Then it's not good. I'm afraid it's opened. IP2 suspected, but I've heard that. Only interest from the legend upwards. You can become Marashi. I've been talking in these years. We humans are becoming less and less fake. But the rate of evolution of love, it's getting faster and faster. The pink judge glanced at her cold eyes. I think it's been determined for a long time. Be blind and suffer in Kwangwi Kai City. Sooner or later, they will be destroyed. Only the Dark Guild knows how to open the ancient French uniform. They are the only way out. As the night falls, people continue to act. Hurriedly pour pink oil down. Prepare to bring the structure. When the animals are retreating. The photographer stood on the wall. I don't know when they will attack again. Suddenly someone shouted, "Just go ahead and ask them what they're doing." Surprise of the snow maple. Appeared carrying giant stones on his back. It turns out they're going to throw stones at Kwangwi Kai City. A big Black Kim, carrying a giant lead stone, made the terrified soldiers open their mouths. That big stone. Are we dead? There are also many small stones. It's brought by the albinos. Aesthetic cardboard lovers can think of this way. If you throw that many stones over here, you're in trouble. The old men asked each other what they were doing. I don't know. The dark red judge thought. The animals have such wisdom. I can't believe it. Fortunately, I am Min, whether the dark world exists or not. Then that's the only option. I'm here to ask the photographer why. Once they start attacking, we're all dead. Serious photographer facial answering. I can only use that trick. Master IP. How many crossbows do we have that can shoot over 10 miles? Ask a question again. There are a lot of dogs in the city. But the power, it's just enough to deal with normal animals. If you shoot 4 miles or more, the weaker the power. They said there was no need to attack directly. Just be able to bring it there. He immediately pulled out the vase. Contains a red solution. The priest then asked if this is very powerful. The answer is not small. One bottle can kill hundreds of animals. Silver backed down. I was surprised to ask a few hundred of them. Hurry and order your subordinates to bring the crossbow here. Immediately, the crossbow is quickly brought to. The soldiers are engaged in preparation for battle. Hang the blood vessels on the arrow to shoot raw. The photographer came to tell IP, just blow up one. Then its blood will lead to a continuous explosion. Yep, 2 exclaimed, let's open our eyes. So he took the crossbow and fired a shot. The arrow just flew out, right through the heads of the animals that are rocking. As the arrow plummets to the ground, that's why the bottle broke. Immediately a terrifying explosion exploded. Let the animals fly through the sky. In front of everyone there is a fire burning. It makes you stare at me. I'm amazed at this power. Think of this power even more. Even if the gold lover wants to throw megaliths, it's about 5 to 6 miles away. That our crossbows can shoot up to 10 miles. He then ordered his followers to shoot raw. Immediately, countless crossbows are in action. In the sky are the rain arrows are shot out. Quickly, under the plane now is the fire beam. Crazy animal lovers, screaming and throwing the giant stones. The photographer looked to say the effect of the blood of the devil on love. From golden to very weak. They're coming. Here are the golden level animals. He threw stones at the wall. The soldiers saw that and panicked. In just a few seconds, the wall has been hit by large stones. He attacked a soldier and fell. And then a rock is coming straight at him. In a 1,000-pound situation hanging armpit hairs. Suddenly, a slash split the stone in two. Save the young man in a moment. Make the soldier sit like an avocado. My soul goes to the clouds to realize the sword is the work of the sword. Lucky thanks. Without him, the young man returned to the coffin. He wouldn't stop slashing. To stop the stones. Quickly, other fake powers have also come out big. Stop all the stones. The photographer here also acted. He rushed to smash the big rock. He was lucky that not many stones came. If there is no blood, I'm afraid. The walls are covered in stone. Even if it's gold, love can't fight. Forever with the stones. This type is okay, the wall right now. It's been riddled by these stones. The holes below are the surrounding flames. A soldier observes the situation and announces, love is back behind. Aesthetic retreat occasion. It's the first time this has happened. The previous times, the animals stormed into the city. Try to destroy. Hundreds of thousands are few. There were only 10,000 people this time. It's just unbelievable. There are no plans of escape. I don't know, can you hold Kwangwi Kai City or not? The photographer is suddenly here. They finally can't sit still anymore. It's very difficult for me. Suddenly, there was a scream below. When you look at it, Apricot and Apricot also recognize the Black Kim has appeared. The lower level animals have retreated. Let the black and golden tigers come. Everyone realized screaming. The black needles have attacked themselves. The priest immediately gave the order to shoot raw. The arrows rushed to the animal. But this doesn't hurt it at all. The beast jumped up, so that the owners and Eucalyptus do not hesitate anymore to shout out the moves. Black Kim monster attacked the wall. They have giant bodies. Ran straight into the wall. It's breaking the wall. One shouted. Those who practice VI reach the level of Black Kim. Come deal with them. Those of you with lower VI have to be careful. Just finished. The soldiers were struck down by the beast. Fell down. The police now give orders. Lead them to the government. Do your best to protect civilians. Then turn to the priest. Stay here, sir, and command all your favorite antagonists. The priest immediately agreed. When you are finished, release the Lao. And the judge glanced at Theo. He said he's finally done it. I came to give you a hand. The outside still has to show a little. Say it and launch. This black and gold lover rushed towards the people's house. Where it flies, it melts away. The beast is madly destroying. Is unexpected. It's flying straight down with a kick. Swirl the back jaw. That kick makes the beast lie flat. Drunk on your face. And then he realized. It seems that these Black Kim lovers moving in one direction. The photographer also said they all followed. A lovely snow maple. Turn to your partner. You stay here. Guard the walls. Be safe. And they said, don't worry, it's a blast. Over here, but was faked by Black Kim, was loved to fly. To shout out to the 7 cities. Harry looks to worry. He said that the fake black and gold suddenly flew away. I'm afraid it's not okay. The Buddha said, this animal just needs one more step. Is to reach the transmission. The clam is now flying over my favorite child. It surprised him too, with a loud cry. He then took the picture. Punch 1,000 pounds to this black and gold animal. When the punch hits, the animal knows the way to stop it. The power that comes out, it makes the surrounding houses crumble. Seeing this screen makes the AI also feel so strong. Let's go to help. While the jury was still watching, he thought strongly, yes. If the eucalyptus here is not careful to get leprosy, flying animals is good. He thought he was coming with a sword. Tell me to come help too. I love you now, swing my hand to the clam. But he raised his hands and tried to fight back. Absolute aesthetics. I can't let it destroy us. The judge came screaming to die. He rushed from behind and slashed his pet in the back. But that wasn't enough for him to scratch. The surprised pink-faced judge. Tell me my attack is not working. The photographer looked at it and was mad. Think of this rotten name. The police are looking for an opportunity to harm the owner. We can't let him do that. At the same time, the team is still trying. That spews out a bunch of black gas. Shoot it straight at the animal and make it scream like crazy. It threw a powerful punch at the IP. The earth and the rocks are all blown up. AP cardboard stick, that's serious injury. Cough a few whispers thinking. It's hard to fight this animal directly. I also dare not stand in front of the judge to reveal my evil master. The beast kept throwing fists at the clam. Like these thunderous explosions. But IP tongue still rises. Tell people not to resist. They all sent him to the government. Everyone take orders immediately. Meanwhile, people are running around the village with their clothes on. The monster came here and ran. Aphrodite with everyone. It's driving the animal towards the government. Suddenly, he looked ahead and discovered that he was close. He seemed to understand the intention and stopped. It's hard to understand why, ask the forest. Suddenly, this animal opened its mouth. then screamed furiously.